Hi, I'm Shelly, and this is my tiny house, and it's located in the LuxTiny Tiny Home community in Lakeside, Arizona, in the beautiful White Mountains. I've been living here for 8 months. I moved in the middle of July of last year, 2023. The house is 10 feet wide, 28 feet long, and 13.5 feet tall. The builder was Korallus Tiny Homes out of Bayfield, Colorado. Danny and Alyssa Korallus. The lot rent here is, in my particular spot, is $379. It varies depending on the size of the lot, but this one's $379. And I actually work for the owner of the place, so I get my lot rent for free. We get water, sewage, and garbage included in with the lot rent. Okay, starting on the outside of the house, I have my fire pit here where we can gather with the neighbors and have a good time chatting. Dug the fire pit myself. I actually did the whole yard myself. This is like phase 1 of my yard, and I'll start putting in trees and flowers and whatnot. This is going to be my garden bed. It's in the process of being worked on. I have a 10 by 12 shed here that has all my extra stuff in it that I haven't quite gotten rid of yet, being tiny. I do have this little play area for my dog Miley, so she can get in and out of the sun or get in shade, whatever, and it's imitation grass under there, so she's nice and comfortable. And then we go on up to the deck. I have all kinds of seating areas, nice table over here. This is my dog Miley. She is 11 tomorrow, her birthday is coming up. She is my companion. She's just my friend, and she loves showing off in front of everybody. That's it for the outside. Come on in and I'll show you the inside. So welcome to my home. It is approximately 440 square feet, and it's kind of a modern country vibe. It's a combination of the both. And I drew up the floor plan. I wasn't quite happy with what the builder offered, so I just offered to draw up my own, and he followed it almost to the T. It worked out really nice. Working with Danny and Alyssa was just awesome. They were open to any suggestion that I had. If I didn't like what they suggested, they were very open to change it and look for a different solution. So they were very, very good to work with. Behind me is the living room. I did want enough space to have a couch. I eventually want to get a pull-out couch that I will have a bed in. So I just have a temporary couch right now. I put in these little cubicles to hold all my whatnots that I didn't want to be seen. But I did want to have a seating area in here, so that was a must-have for this area. My television, I wanted so that I could, move it. So it's a swivel. It pulls out. So I can, if I'm in the kitchen, I can watch the TV, or sitting here watching the TV as well. So that was kind of a must too. I'm kind of a movie buff. I like to watch TV a lot. My wood stove was a mandatory thing, mainly because this house is an off-grid house. And so I wanted to make sure that I had alternate heating, alternate cooking. It's small, but I can at least fit a pot on here. I just wanted to make sure that my heating was covered. I do have a mini split, but I just like wood fireplaces too. It just feels good. So in the middle of the house, we come to my bar area. I'm here most of the time, either here or on the couch. I've got my computer laptop down here, and so I just bring it up onto the bar area. And, I like this. It's a lot of workspace for the kitchen. It gives me a lot of room. I also have a pass-through window in the house, and so if we're eating outside on the deck, then I can just open that window up and this becomes one. Let's see, under the stairs, I've just got little cubbies that hold the everyday, ordinary stuff. My garbage is under here. This was perfect for my dog feeding station, and all I have to do is pull it out when she's ready to eat and push it back in. I usually leave it about there so she can drink, and this holds all of her food, so everything is right compact in there. I've got a really big farmhouse sink. I did want a single hole sink. I just feel that you have more room to work in. You can get your big pots and stuff in. So that was a must in here for the sink. I just insisted on having a lot of storage, and he did pretty good. With my design in here, it holds everything I need. 24-inch stove, plenty big enough to cook everything. I will eventually upgrade my stove. This is a very basic stove. That's one thing that I'm not happy with. I want to upgrade that. I love the gas. I will not go with electric. Gas is the way to go. Eventually, when the budget will allow it, I will upgrade to just a higher quality stove. I totally enjoy working in the kitchen. I am a whole food, plant-based person. And so I do all my cooking. I don't cook with pre-made anything. Everything is all fresh and natural. Just having a kitchen this big and lots of counter space just works out great for me. I use a lot of spices and herbs and things in my cooking, and so I wanted them readily available. And so I found this magnet board and put all my spices up there, and so they're just ready to grab and very handy and very unique. Everyone comments about them when they walk in and see it. Living in St. George was my forever home, retirement home. I was going to stay there with my husband, but we ended up divorcing, and St. George is a very expensive place to live, and I just couldn't on a single income pay the mortgage. I ended up having to sell my home. As I moved through the last 5 years moving, I was able to get rid of a lot of stuff. I had a ton of stuff in Wyoming. I had a huge garage that had a lot of stuff in it. So I was able, with my 3 moves there, to downsize quite a bit. I've always been interested in tiny homes. I just decided that I was going to go that route. And my kids own some land north of Flagstaff, close to the Grand Canyon. So I was looking for land there. Found 15 acres that I wanted to put my tiny home on and then have some Airbnb camping rentals. But they decided to change the building codes and whatnot on that land in the county there, in that area. So I couldn't afford it. It would have cost me way too much money, more than what my budget allowed. When I found out that I wouldn't be able to stay on my land, I went through a huge depression moment, because that was been my dream for years to do that. So it was really hard. I would have been alone. And that's why I was looking forward to the campers and, my renters being my company. And since that wouldn't happen, I just thought, I can't be alone. I like to be around people. So being in this community just really helped with the depression, just lifting my spirits. I see people every day. I talk to them multiple times a day. I've got a walking partner across the street that we go walking every morning. It has helped. People are just so friendly here. I've noticed that on the mountain, not just in this community, just this area, this town is just so friendly. The back room in the house is the bathroom, and I can close it off with my sliding barn door. And this is the bathroom. It's got a full tub. That was a must. With my health, I need to soak in a hot tub. Soaking it's my life, because my joints ache all the time, and so it is just awesome being able to get into a nice hot tub and just soak away. And I just love it with the white tile and black grout and stuff. It just pops. And very happy with the tub, how it turned out. The big counter here is pretty awesome because I can fold my clothes on it when I do the laundry. I had to have this big of a counter because underneath is all of the solar, and it takes up that whole space underneath. This is pretty handy to have. Got lots of storage up here with the cabinets and the medicine cabinet. And a nice big sink. A lot of tinies have small sinks, but I insisted on having a larger sink in the bathroom. That's very nice. On this side is my on-demand water heater, and it's hidden behind a cabinet, so I don't have to look at all the ugly stuff. So that's nice. I opted for just a washer. This is not a combo. I haven't heard very good things about the combos, so I opted for the washer. Plus, this is total solar, and dryers would just take up too much power. So I just do my laundry, and then I hang everything on hangers up on the curtain rod. Hang drying my clothes, it doesn't bother me at all. In the summertime, they dry really fast, and I've got a bin down here under the shelves that has all my hangers, and I just hang everything up on the rod. I don't miss a dryer at all. The only thing I miss about not having a dryer is having fluffy towels. Towels get a little crispy with hanging, but other than that, the washer works perfect. On this side of the room, we have the toilet, and I originally was going to go with a composting toilet because this was an all off-grid home, and it was going to be on off-grid land. But since that all changed, I was able to catch the build in time for them to put just a flushing toilet in, which is nice here, because I don't have to worry about the composting part of it. And then next to that, I have all this shelving. I had a lot of stuff when I moved in, and I am all about not wasting anything. So eventually, this will probably move into housing most of my clothing, because I dress down here because the loft, you can't stand up in the loft. Being 10 feet rather than 8 feet wide just makes a huge difference in the space that you have in these small rooms. So my bathroom is very, very spacious. There's lots of room to move around, and I don't feel cramped in here. This is a picture of my dad when he was 2 years old, walking out into the river, and it was a black and white. My daughter enhanced it and blew it up into a larger picture. So that's kind of a conversation piece when anyone comes in here they ask who it is. Okay, that's it for downstairs. Come on up and I'll show you the loft. So this is my loft. It's a 10 by 10, so it's pretty big. It can actually fit a king-size bed in here. But I opted to go with a single bed just because it's me, and it gives my dog Miley a bigger space to sleep in. She likes to sprawl out, so she's the important one. A must-have in this house was closet space. I just noticed in looking at a lot of the tiny homes, there just isn't any closet space, and so that was a must for me. So I arranged this room so that I would have 10 feet of storage space for all my clothes. Do I wear them all? Probably not, but before I moved here, I had 2 walk-in closets full of clothes just for me. So this is a real downsize for me. This room is very functional. I have lots of space up here. The bed was actually supposed to go this way between the 2 lights. But I didn't like my head down there so close to the lowest part of the roof. So I moved it this way so I had a little bit more head space here. But other than that, it works great up here. It's so cozy, comfy. And on the other side, you'll see the other loft. It's a 10 by 6. There is room for a bed if I need one. But it mainly just holds my artwork, art stuff that can't be frozen out in the shed. I've got my sewing stuff and a little bit of food storage up there that, because I came with so much stuff, I'm dwindling the food storage down. Eventually that'll all be gone, and there'll be a little bit more room for my crafty part of my life. It was hard to get rid of my stuff. But now that I'm living tiny, I've learned that I don't need it. But there are a few things. You know, I do like to dabble in art, and I sew, and so I needed a place to put things like that. So yeah, it was important. You're not limited to what you do. You just have to rethink how you do it and maybe think a little bit smaller, but no, your life doesn't change. The original cost was $110,000 for it. Then I added the solar panels, which were another $5,000. The generator, the batteries and everything were included in the 110, but then the solar panels were extra, and so I've got 8 solar panels up on the roof. And then adding the deck on top of that was a $15,000 chunk of money. Well, then I put the fence up around the yard, and then I have my shed out here. So in all, it came to about $155,000 by the time I got the yard and everything finished. My house is paid off. I don't have mortgage worries, and yeah, it's a good feeling. Before I moved into this home, this tiny home, I stayed for 4 months in a 10 by 12 little home off grid. And I put all my stuff in storage and just had what I needed for that little home. But it prepared me for knowing what I would need as I lived there for 4 months, what I didn't need, what I could get rid of. And so when I moved here, I got rid of a whole bunch more stuff. LuxTiny is a very tight-knit community, very friendly. Everyone just looks out for each other. Couldn't ask for better neighbors. They just, you know, we're really close together, but we keep to ourselves. If we find ourselves outside on the decks having conversations with each other, and every time we go for a walk, we end up staying at someone's house for a while, you know, talking. It's just very friendly. And the owner, Steve Dedman, is just awesome. He'll give you his shirt off his back if you need it. He's just a perfect landlord. Living here just gives me a peace of mind. I'm smiling a lot more. I was really depressed before I got here, but I'm happy. I feel comfortable. I see sunshine whenever, even if we don't have sunshine. It's just a fun place to live, and I feel content. They're gonna have to carry me out in a body bag because I'm not leaving. This is it. I'm staying.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.